Thanks, Daniel. No thanks. PLAIDS. A source is suspicious about the garage. Tell me more. And it is important for me right now to actually read the comments with you because I want to explain my train of thought and I want to show my appreciation, but I also want to do some correcting if I have to because I want things to be. I don't want you. Okay, let me see. Suspicion on camera. Daniel Martel's statement in the. What is this? 1 day ago from a. Okay. A source is suspicious about a garage towers down from Daniel. Tell me more. The RCMP should request for anyone who noticed an ATV driving around the night in question. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. To come forward with any information. I think I know you. I think you messaged me. If it wasn't you, I just messaged the wrong person. So the RCMP should absolutely. I said it from the very beginning. The RCMP, they said, okay, 150,000 reward. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Remember what I said about that. Remember. Great. But what are we going to look for? What are we going to look for? Yes, the RCMP should request for anyone who noticed an ATV driving around the night in question, May 1 to May 2. And it's not enough to just hold on to your camera footage because if you are in Nova Scotia, you don't know. Maybe the chaotic Daniel needed to get gas somewhere, but I guess, he had a tank. He was I don't know. Chaotic Daniel makes mistakes. We have to count on that. And that's why I said it was like a message from above. With Lilly's blanket, there was a mistake that he made. Something went wrong. Chaotic Daniel's life is full of mistakes. He had it all made. He got free money from the government. He got money for Jack and Lily. He got everything. Malaya wasn't leaving. He had it made, dude. He had it made. Even though he's doing drugs, doing all the wrong things, being destructive, self destructive, and destructive towards all the people around him, except his negative mama, is, in my opinion, the one who added the fuel, the destruct. There's something about energy. Energy is important. She is a nasty, horrible person who whose misery seeks company. And I believe that had Janie been different, none of this would have happened. I don't believe that Daniel would have worried as much about how loud Lily is, you know, if it wasn't for Janie and her damn dog. And yes, if the owner's mentally ill, the dogs are not, the dogs reflect, and she's not mentally ill. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. That's not a product. But if you're, I'd say crazy. If the owner is crazy, the dogs tend to be crazy too. I have seen it in many cases. I've seen very extreme cases where the dogs, it was maybe 10 years ago, where I realized how much certain dogs reflect their owners. It's absolutely insane. And so, if it wasn't for that pressure, I don't think any of this would have happened. I think Daniel would have been happy just doing, manufacturing his product and using it, and Malaya ain't leaving him. He had fun. He did what he does best. He did what he enjoyed doing. Easy life, right? But guess what? Then he didn't file his damn taxes, right? I mean, he had it made. But I guess he couldn't tell his mama off when she kept nagging. These damn kids, all the time, every time I wake up, guess what happened? I have pain. Look, my foot is swollen. My da. That's what Malaya said, that she always talked about her health problems. Oh my God, I knew people like that. when I was a kid. I knew some older people like that. And this is not an age thing, this is an energy thing. This is people with very bad energy who want their misery to have more company. I don't tell my kids when I'm sick, when I feel I don't want, I know that whatever is happening in my life is a result of my own actions or inactions, good and bad. But I look at things from a very good angle at this moment. And that has more to do with the path I am on than the situation I'm in. I know plenty of people who are in good situations, but they are so close to the abyss. Just a little bit, little tiny wrong step, and everything is going downhill. I prefer to be on the path where things are moving forward. And I also realize the reasons why sometimes we go, well, that's not the topic, right? But I do thank you so much for this comment. I agree with it. I have pointed it out before. They don't want to tell us too much. But yes, I believe Daniel on an ATV with, and I will call it respectfully that, just to be on the lookout. You don't, you won't necessarily see two children. It may look like stuff, right? Like bags, like I believe the two shirts that supposedly Malaya stole from him. He took one of his shirts for each of the children to cover them up. So if he was going to be seen, nobody was going to see a hand or a head or any of that. And I believe his shirts were big enough, tied together, and he may have had the kids on the front of his ATV with him. I think it could have been that simple. Risky business, right? But he knows the woods. He knows the loneliness of the forest. He knew what path to take. The question is, which path did he take? Was it Sheet Harbor? Was it, I don't know. The I have no idea. The cabins are of great interest to me. Janie also said that she had cabins on her property. Yes. And again, I'm not going to look it up right now. The statement was I went through the woods, I went to the cabins to the children. He returned there, likely because he gotten some stuff he forgot. I yes, okay. Well, I'm not going to comment again because I'm not 4:10 a.m. was highest tide at Tidal bore on May 2. Remember 12:55 a.m. I know it's further, but it makes more sense. Got it. And from there, it's receding into the ocean and will take the bodies with it. I think that pink blanket flew into trees from the four-wheeler Daniel was driving, flowing down the road while he was disposing evidence, while he was ready to get disposed evidence. Absolutely. I don't think he, you know, disposed evidence in that area, but I believe he was on the way to whatever coastline he wound up choosing to get rid of Jack and Lily. Let's see more. I thought I heard someone say it was tired to the tree. What? I don't know if that is true, but it could be a red herring. If that is the case, I'd go the up. What? Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me very carefully. Let me check who you are first. Because we're getting some weird accounts here coming in from other channels trying to sidetrack us. We got to be very careful with what we pay attention to. So give me just one moment, guys. I have to. So I heard, please don't hear. Tell me where you heard it. That's what I want to know. That's always what I want to know. Let me know. If you say you hear something somewhere, guys, what do you think? Think first. Where did you hear it? What source did these people uh, use to justify coming up with something? See, my problem is I'm reading everything, everything. But please make sure. And if it's a claim from whoever, I don't care about that. I want to know the source, and then you tell me if it's important. Okay? Don't approach my channel like the channels that are out there. It means we take each other seriously here. So we don't encourage all types of theories, because I want people who come here to be able to get new information. If I am not on, if I'm not, if I have other priorities or obligations that day to make videos, that you can always come to my comment sections and see something new that is informative. Because I want to make sure that everything I have, actually, information wise, and others have, can be found on my channel somewhere. Not necessarily just from me, but from others as well. This is also why I'm paying attention to the comments right now. On who knows how long it could have been there. People let stuff fly around in wind and never what? No, 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 no. Oh, God. And Julia, feel free to do what you gotta do to make sure this beautiful section is clear. Yep. What the hell are you talking about? Um, I deal with it. Okay, for now. I hope and pray that there were some cameras that Daniel couldn't see that did see him. You know what? In the beginning, I said, from the very beginning, I was looking more into the direction of a car being used. But of course, that's what they wanted us to think. And I thought somewhere along the highway, the toll booth, a gas station, Daniel was caught with the car. They used the ATV 100%. 100%. That's why both Daniel and Janie spent so much time trying to convince us that Daniel never rode the ATV. Never. Bogus. You don't let your brother use it, who doesn't own a running car? Anyways, I've already talked about this. So, the neighbor who heard the vehicle throughout the night must know which direction it went. Very good point. I have contacted uh, Lindsay. Haven't heard back. In this particular case, I hope the RCMP, well, I know they got, they were in touch with this person. I think this person wants to not be known. I don't know about this person. As for the allegations, has he been in trouble with the law? Maybe. But still, and that's not saying he was or wasn't. But one thing I have noticed, let's say he was in trouble with the law at times, right? People like that are very reluctant to talk to police. Very reluctant. But things can change when we're talking about two missing children. And this is the one thing that is great about human nature, that even though people have a dislike, it's overcome when they realize, wow, these are two kids. And children are the priority. The priority. You know? That's why in prison they have a certain whatever. I mean, they respect you if you rob the bank and, unalived a couple of bank tellers, maybe. But when you hurt children, it's a different story. They remember their own childhoods. And Daniel, for you, prison will not be good. These guys will, remember how they were abused by their stepfather with a belt or whatever, or punched in the head, or slapped so hard that your thumb pad left a mark on both sides of Jack's eye. They remember that stuff. And they don't like child abusers. Well, doesn't mean they are not child abusers themselves, but that is sort of the prison code from what I understand, from what I hear. I don't know, I've never been to prison. Whoa, Mike, you are right. The boots are clean. I wonder if there is a car wash in that town. I think they hosed the thing down, but I can look at it again. They had a rough night behind them, I have no doubt. I don't see mud here. I don't see, you know, anything from running through water with your. Look how clean this is. Look, the bottom of his boot. There's nothing there. If you've been searching through mud or whatever, these cracks would be filled with stuff. This looks like it's been cleaned. And so does the ATV. The ATV looks clean, but so does Daniel. Absolutely. It rained Friday night, I believe. It did? Okay, so wouldn't they have mud on these shoes and clothes? I wonder if they took their clothes for forensics. I don't know. But you know what? They were not searching that day. And I don't mind, people. Okay, but why was it a big deal about who took this picture, drone or Malaya, and it shows them relaxing? No, I mean, if they had been searching, what's wrong with coming back and recuperating, right? Nothing, because you'd be exhausted, but they're not exhausted from searching that day. They're exhausted from not having sleep and coming down from adrenaline or whatever else. In Daniel's case, especially. But the fact that everything is clean, and look at his pants too. There were two calls by her brother. The first one was about 6 a.m. and she missed it, and the next one was that I would love to know what that conversation was all about with Logan's dad. Janie's brother was crying. We previously heard Justin was seen crying on the property. No doubt remorse for his part in this. Yes, I agree. In Justin's case, it was like not remorse on the part of disposal, not necessarily. Yeah, maybe, but also just imagine somebody calls you to help, get rid of evidence, and you see two children having been unalived. The aftermath of Daniel's rage. Okay. Whoever the guy is making this video, it is awesome, excellent footage, beautiful footage here. And that is about, of course, the footage from the person who drove to the neighborhood and gave us an idea what everything looked like. And I believe you are the Kali G that Durwood had an issue with, right? So, hi Mike, YouTube author named. Okay, has a. You're not talking. You're talking about a video that has been out from day one, where Daniel was interviewed. I have shared this 3 months ago. I don't need to go to that channel to see that. And yes, his eyes have been caught. No, I'm not impressed with that map at all. I'm impressed with the map that there's too much sidetracking there. Too much sidetracking and too many thoughts that go into too many different directions. I'm impressed with the map that Charmaine had sent me, guys. That's what I'm impressed with, because I don't need somebody else to connect the dots for me, because the suggestions are running through my mind anyways. But I need to look for the facts because they are right there on that map, right? So I don't need to look for people to give me the answers, but I need to look for the evidence and for more evidence. And what is this? Jaden, I have, yeah, that case, of course. In the case of Jaden, I only had um, one statement to work with, and that was from the mother, and I knew immediately. And I know many of you did as well. And I had statements from the aunts indicating that, they, I mentioned it the last time, the mathematics house. Okay, exactly. Chris Foot and DM made certain the victims will never be found. Yeah, I believe that too. I believe there's a certain level of confidence with Daniel and Chris Proudfoot, knowing that the bodies will not be found. They also counted on a pattern of mistakes made by law enforcement. In the case of Chris Proudfoot, yes. In the case of Daniel Martel, he was hoping for it. He was also certain. And again, my he didn't use a car. That's why he was so confident talking about the GPS system and all of these things, because he didn't use a car. And that's why he uses every opportunity to tell you he was never driving the ATV. That's why Janie keeps saying he was never driving the ATV. That way he wouldn't have to answer questions. That's way it wouldn't come up. Did anybody drive it that night? No, I never drive it, right? Don't talk about the ATV. That's a sensitive area. Exactly, Mike. Daniel doesn't have a Katie Proudfoot. Yep, he has Durwood, Janie, Logan, and that's it. Very good. Very good comment. And Flying Monkey, Spies, and Trolls. Yeah. Daniel doesn't have a partner who's in it with him, who advises him, who keeps him safe from himself, from his own big mouth. He has Durwood, who was his spokesperson, trying to confuse people. Janie and Logan. Logan, an idiot. Janie, an idiot. Katie Proudfoot has a way above average level of intelligence. Doesn't mean she's a genius, but she's way above Chris Proudfoot and these types of people that we're dealing with right here. Okay, I'm getting more messages. Oh, the star was found. Um, Carla asked Julia. That's what I was going to ask. Bridge on MacLeod, whatever. MacLeod Road. It's one of these Scottish words. I know. That's what the area is all about, right? Nova Scotia, New Scotland, New Glasgow is where a star was found that could have been from Lily's backpack or boots, right? Was it backpack? Have wanted to send you a huge hug for a long time. Yeah, Belinda, thank you for showing up in my chat. And thank you guys for making Belinda welcome and expressing. Do you have a pin for the bridge? Amy, wow. Let me check.
All right, so this here is the entrance to those cabins, the first entrance. You go up here. And so on the right is the road that Janie mentioned, like they walked to, or like Daniel was driving down. This is like a dirt road. All right, and here we go. Then up here on the left are the cabins that Kent was talking about yesterday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And the day that they went missing, I walked down this. I think it's gated off here, yeah. Yeah, so it's just up here right here on the left. Those are where the cabins are and shit, right here.
Mm-hmm.
You go down like a road and whatever down there. Okay, still no neighbors, by the way. There's no neighbors around here. And I'm right by their house, so if somebody was coming to abduct them, I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere. This is like a property that nobody goes to. Still no neighbors. Still nothing, by the way. I haven't seen a house in fucking 5 minutes. There's a little path. And then here comes the fucking meth house.
Huh.
This is right where the meth house is.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's home right now. Must be busy. Okay. So we come all the way up here. You've seen where the house was. Gotta put the phone down. There's a cop. So there's a street back there.
Mm-hmm.
There's some houses down that street, but it's not that close.
Okay.
Then this is the nearest neighbor. All right. Now we're going to turn right here. Go down by where. So Ron lives.
No, Ron lives nowhere.
And I know some people up here, or some people said Earl lives up here on the right. I'm pretty sure he lives on the left side of the road. Because when I was out here the day that they went missing, there was RCMP officers at this house.
Earl lives here, so if you're coming from here, he would be on the left side. If you're coming from here, he would be on the right side. So I don't know where exactly he's coming from, but let's see.
And I remember saying, like, that's weird. Why are there 2 or 3 RCMP officers up at this house?
Yeah, because they probably always suspected something, man. And now I do too. Especially, I would like to see where they kept the ATV on his property. I would have wanted to see if there are tire tracks, too many, what tire tracks there are, who came in and out of Earl's property, where the ATV was, according to Janie. All of that I would want to know. Absolutely. Earl's house is crucial. It puts also everything into new perspective with the tint thing, right? When Earl was in his face. Because, yeah, what does he know? What does Ron know?
So there's a house to the right. That's not obviously Earl's right here.
No? It looks too nice.
I'm pretty sure Earl's is up here on the left. I'm going
Let's
to be a
find
little
out.
bit careful with my videotaping. I'm not trying to fight an old man,
Yeah.
but I'll just show you.
What you doing? What you doing?
There's the pipeline. I'll show it on the way back.
Okay, the pipeline is on the right. The pipeline is on the right if you drive this way. So he said he's expecting Earl's house to be on the left, but I think he's going to see it on the right-hand side. Because I think he's driving down Lansdowne Road this way. I think, and I hope he's going to get to the bridge.
When I turn around, I'll get a better video of it. Okay, so I believe Earl's house is to the left up here.
I don't think so, but let's see.
I don't think it's that one. It might have been that one I just passed. All right, I'm going to turn around here, take a new video.
Turn around, bro. Well, now I'm confused.
And I know.
But let's find out.
Blanket was apparently found.
Okay, wait. Not so fast.
All right, so this is the dirt road where the blanket was apparently found. You can see all the ribbons and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I've driven down this road probably 20 times though since it happened. There's some small bodies of water like a little bit further up this way, but they're like tiny creeks and shit. Like it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing serious. And yeah, so this is. I don't know exactly where the blanket was found, but this is the road it was found on.
Okay.
All right, so this is the. Now I'm kind of like in the middle of nowhere here, trying not to get fucking murdered by some meth head, but
okay, where?
This bridge right here. I don't know if you remember.
Okay, I don't know where on the map this is, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't know which way he just drove, but let's see.
Remember when that tint guy was taking videos while he was driving?
So is that where the star was found? So I think that's very important. And of course, we don't have any reports from the RCMP in terms of forensics. Did the star come I forgot, was it from the boots or Lily's backpack? But I believe Chaotic Daniel lost a lot of evidence along the way in that area. So the question is, oh my God, somewhere towards the coastlines, and I mean everybody that goes, I'm I am pretty sure somewhere in this forest area of Nova Scotia, and Nova Scotia seems extremely foresty, right? Nova Scotia people. Up here, Pictou County, New Glasgow. Uh, Look, this is Sheet Harbor down here. You see what I'm... Wait, okay, let me do it like this. Daniel. Kobikid Bay. He knows the dirt roads. This would be the shortest way. Lansdowne, up there. Shortest way, right? Would make sense. I want to know now where the bridge is. One moment, I'm getting a message. And by the way, stay away from people who do a lot of guessing. Too much guessing. I don't know which direction he went in, but I'm going to figure out where the bridge is. And that's going to give me a very good idea, hopefully.
Driving around, and there was an officer flying a drone on this bridge right here.
McLeod Road, right? Well, Google Maps so much for that.
Which has like a little body of water. Now I'm kind of like in the middle.
Wait a minute. So unfortunately, I'm not sure exactly where he turned, but did he turn maybe this way? Or did he turn that way and the bridge is somewhere here? But McLeod Road, no, there is one like 40 minutes away with that name. But it could be a bridge over the pipe? No. Where would there be a bridge? This one? But he took a side road, right? So there's a McLeod. And geez, I cannot pronounce this, man. This is the only one in Pictou County. That could be it.
We picked Daniel up on an old road. We went up the pipeline, Justin and I did, and we picked Daniel up on an old road. So Daniel did not use the bike. The only time he was on the bike is when we picked him up on the road. And believe me, it's my four-wheeler, and believe me, I don't let Daniel drive my four-wheeler.
I don't let Daniel drive.
And yes, he is telling the truth.
Never.
The bike did have a wiring problem because the mice get into it and chewed all the wiring off of it.
It had a wiring problem because...
So that's why it wasn't used neither until it got fixed.
Oh, when did it get fixed? You're not telling us that. You're telling us too many reasons why. What? The bike couldn't be used? It was very usable when the searches began, right? Crazy old woman. Okay, while I'm waiting for some replies, yes, the pull-up